are some tips, that you would give for someone wanting to transition from something, like cosmetology to counseling? Like what are some tips you would share with them, to make that transition?
You know what? It's never too late. One, we tend to think that if we're doing this, even if we're not happy with it, it's what we know. And because it's what we know, we feel like we have to stick to that. That is absolutely not true. Don't lie to yourself. Go for your dreams. You can accomplish anything that you want at any age. It doesn't matter how old you are. If you have a burning desire to achieve something, just do it.
And on the policy side of things, we're really trying to help or to collaborate to help persons to understand this whole idea of wellness, right? Two of the main places that we have always tried to target, because they are where the mass is in the workplace and in the schools, right? So we have captive audiences there, right? That means it's incumbent on our employers, right, to be sure that they're paying attention to their employees' wellness. And it's incumbent on the school administration and parents, of course, and the whole team, these teams, to also be very aware of what mental health is for your child, right, and for the student. This is critical. It affects all kinds of bottom lines. Companies and corporate Jamaica and corporate anywhere. Bottom line is profit, right? And if you pay attention to your employees, this is where you can increase your bottom line, because if they're productive, they're adaptive, they're feeling good, they are, they're well, then they're going to give you more, right? They're going to give you more. So even if you're looking at it from that perspective, it's important to pay attention to. And the same thing I could say in the school, for our teachers and our administrators, for the students, if they're feeling good, then they're more, we see that all the time, the relationship between emotional wellness and academic performance, it is undisputed, right? So if our students are feeling better, if they're feeling well, if they're doing well, it helps. It's not everything, There are other things, of course, that can come into the picture, but certainly we give them a big jump start when they're feeling emotionally well, to be able to tackle what is there in the school environment and the work environment.
If there were tips that you could share with, individuals that want to delve deeper, right? They could be counseling students, they could be other people who are just sort of interested maybe in psychology. What are some tips that you could give them that could help them, to make that step or make that transition?
All right. I think, and this tip isn't something that's ordinarily spoken about, but I think it's very important, and it is to treat people and not diagnoses or conditions. And I think that a lot of times we can get caught up in treating a diagnosis, in treating schizophrenia or somebody who had a stroke, but there's a person behind a diagnosis. And really getting to know who that person is allows you to understand them on a level that you wouldn't understand them if you didn't have that level of connection with them. And I think that has been one of my strong points in terms of my whole walk in psychology, which is to really get to know people behind the diagnosis. Because other times when they come to me, they're like, well, I have this, I have that. I'm like, I don't want to know what you have, I want to know who you are. And it makes such a difference, because when you start treating people, then everything else for me flows.
Yes.
And so that for me is the first step, the first point. The second point is to always keep yourself informed of new techniques, new ideas that are out there, and ensure that you're looking at the research that's out there and what people have been using, what people have been doing, and the change that come, because there are a number of opportunities for you to learn and grow in those areas. Third would be to put yourself out there. I do a weekly post on Instagram, and that has opened so many doors for me. So now I'm working with an international company, or two international companies rather. So, I mean, don't be afraid to put your content out there, put yourself out there, get yourself engaged, work with other psychologists in the field, and really garner the experience, because it will pay off.
So if you could share some tips with different people surrounding what they could do in situations like this, like whether it's COVID or whether it's needing to change jobs, because we have, I guess, two different stories here, expertise that you could share.
In terms of transitioning, I just want to say that, you know, it's never too late to go after your passion. Always try and go for something that you feel passionate about, and something that gives you a sense of fulfillment and a sense of joy. I've heard too many stories about persons who are in jobs or in professions that really and truly, you get up in the morning and you feel your stomach clench. In other words, it's just a very anxiety-provoking feeling that you have. You really don't want to be there. You're just doing it maybe to pay the bills or, to just get through. And to be in that state for a long period of time is, of course, unhealthy. So it's about going and finding your passion, something that, when you get up in the morning, you say, yes, this is where I want to be. This is what I want to do. And just to say that it's never too late. I actually retired before I went into psychology. I was at university with my children. Yes. So, we would all go to class. They were in a different department from me, but, I was there. So people would see me and everybody would walk and say, hi, auntie, but, so, it's never too late. There is no shame in going after what you want late in life. In fact, you bring a certain sense. I found that I brought a certain sense of maturity, a certain sense of experience to the classroom when I was there, because literally I had lived it. I wasn't just talking. I wasn't talking theoretically about some things. I had actually been through some of the experiences and some of the examples I was able to give. So that definitely augured well for me in the academic setting, and just try and be as open. I think there's nothing. We are all put on this earth, I think, for a purpose, and I think one of the main things is that to give back. And that whole sense of giving back that gives, to me, is the ultimate goal that I think we should all strive for in terms of giving back and helping others. And that, to me, is what that's what gave me the biggest satisfaction that I can actually think about now, looking back, because this is a time when you get very reflective, in terms of what your life has, what did you achieve, what did you do, was I able to help somebody, and so on and so forth. And anybody who, I think, is able to look back and say, yes, I was able to give back, I was able to help, I was able to nurture the next generation, I was able to be a friend to, my colleague, that sort of thing, I think is a life we live.
What are some tips maybe that you can give that people could use as a way to help them to detect if something like this is happening in their life?
Okay, so if it is that you are in a relationship and the fabric of the relationship is more sad, depressive than a sense of happiness and contentment, then that's time to start to check your relationship. Yeah, a relationship should never be one person being drained and another person being feeling a sense of power only. Yeah, it's supposed to be an equal thing, even though it might not happen at the same time. Sometimes you might be down and your partner pour into you, and vice versa, that kind of thing. That's what a relationship is, complementary, and it's about, you know, togetherness towards a particular goal. Yeah. So if you're in a relationship and you realize that, why, like you're just tired, and the tired way I explained is like, you, even if you sleep, you just don't feel energized in that relationship. You don't look forward to talking to the person. You don't look forward for the person coming home. You're always crying, or you're in a state of sadness. You can realize and make that check that, okay, this relationship is not good for me. If you're in a relationship and the person does not speak to you and treat you with a sense of respect, call you by your name, call you by your government name. You know, I have a friend, Shanique Marie, shout out, who has a song that's called Government Name. Love me up in my government name. So if they don't call you by your government name or an affectionate name, then something is wrong. If you're calling me all sorts of things that I would go down to the marketplace and hear, then that's not a level of respect. Because call me that and then want to come and lay down with me is a complete no-no. You understand? If you find yourself in a relationship, and that relationship you're being financially stifled, your every move is being watched, you're being stalked, you're being shouted at, you have to say where it is that you're going, when you are returning, those kinds of things, and those are the red flags. But a part of recognizing all of that is, first and foremost, understanding within yourself that, yo, this is not your fault none time. This is just you catch up in something. Somebody out there saw your niceness, your sweetness, and they mistook it for weakness and decided that they were going to capitalize on it. It don't matter. It has nothing to do with you as an individual. They just see you and decide, say, all right, I'm going to try and milk this person for all their worth. So if we spend a lot of time shifting the perspective from when me do, is this my fault, when me can do, to understanding just how valuable and how precious you are, you're now able to say, all right, this individual doesn't deserve me. If you are not there, you have to get to the point where you understand, oh, you stay, you're nice, you're clean, you're well educated, you are the prize of a lot of persons out there who want to have a conversation, want to be in your presence, want to have a relationship with you. Yes. And so when you hold on that and you begin to treat yourself as valuable and respect yourself as valuable, then you'll understand, say, all right, you can't pass the line with me, because I love and I respect myself much more than what you can give me.
To someone who's really listening to this and going, oh, well, this is all very nice, but I'm shy, or I don't know where to start, or oh my gosh, this seems hard, or this is a young people thing, what would you say to that person?
I would say to that person that I would say start small. You know, it doesn't have to be big, right? I would say like using something like Canva is a really nice tool that can help you, like all the design things you could possibly need, like a thumbnail, you can create thumbnails there, you can create Instagram posts there, you know, you can have short videos put together there, right? There's so many things you can do with that platform. So I would say, you know, if you have a young person in your life and you have a vision and you want to, you know, think about doing something, but you're unsure how to do it yourself, what I did is I outsourced all the things I did not know how to do. I outsourced it to somebody else that could do it, right? So I have somebody who does search engine optimization for my channel. Like I know a little bit about it, but I don't know a lot about it, right? So I went and I said, okay, who can I find? And it was another networking thing that I did on LinkedIn, and I found, you know, 2 people actually, but one of them worked out well. And I decided, okay, let's jump in here. Let's see what this person can do. And they've been great so far in helping me to figure out something that I have no idea how to do. So I would say outsource to people who might know more. So if you're finding that you're having difficulty, you know, creating posts or, you know, putting videos together, you know, get somebody who can do that, like cinematography. Like my husband records all our videos and edits all our videos. And, you know, I do all the uploading and the interviewing, right? So I would say find someone in your space who may be willing to partner with you or might be willing to do some of the work with you, and get it done. I would say start at least. It's very small. You can use your phone, right? Prop it up on some books. Like I'm telling you, people start from the smallest places and you never know how big you can grow by just starting.